Hello, welcome to this video playing HyperJao. Let's check Singapore. Yeah, I suspected something like that, but I couldn't really tell the flag. Do we have a name here? Enrique A. Paciancia. Okay. You went d6 here, going for some old Indian type setup. An interesting point here is that I think e4 is better than d4, as d4 allows black to play e4. This is prevented here. So we have a fianchetto setup with white against the old Indian. This is not the most dangerous way of handling this opening, but we'll see. Interesting. Here c5 comes into consideration. c5 doesn't really convince all that much. Yeah, I'm just centralizing. See what he comes up with. Okay, it goes a5. It's a bit of a surprise. Usually they try a6, b5 in those positions. So I'm going to go d5. He doesn't have a knight to c5 currently. Okay, he can lose more time. And yes, going back, that's certainly possible. So if I go a3, we'll go knight c5, potentially a4. But it doesn't really work all that well. We'll see. Knight d2, he had knight d3 maybe, which is irritating. Maybe it isn't, yeah, it wasn't all that great. But knight to d3 is not bad either, not bad anyway, because the knight is very often good on d3 in these kind of situations. For example, here if he goes, yeah, this is an interesting move. Huh? He's giving up a pawn, and I will take it. But he prevents b4 like that. Here, the knight also in these kind of situations is not bad on e1, as d3 is quite a decent square for it. Okay, knight d3 immediately is possible. Let's go for it. Yeah, c5 is hanging. This is an interesting moment. I wonder if I can take c6 here, or if this is a bad idea. If I take there, there's potentially... No, queen d6 I can take on b6. That doesn't work. Okay, then I can take... Yeah, here I'll get a knight to d5. And... yeah, but e5 does hang here. Knight e5. Knight e5. We can move the queen to d6 or something. To d6. Okay, so then just this one. Funky place here for the rook on d4. Not clear to me if this is a well-positioned piece or not. It can be both. Yeah, but now I can take e5. Yeah? There is really no reason not to do it. Or what's the deal? Queen to e6 and I just go back? What's the point? Okay. Currently I'm threatening e5, which is duly ignored. Yeah, well, maybe you can ignore it. c4 is hanging. Okay, I'm covering this. And I can do this in a technical way, like a4. I'm just 2 pawns up. Or c2. Yeah, c2 for knight f4. Okay, if I go here, he might have queen to e5. E5 immediately does win material, some material, but you have to. I really have time here. There's no need to rush things. Now it's just knight f4 and take on d4. This is technically very clean, I think. If he takes with the pawn, I play knight d3 and just pick up the pawn, because he cannot support this in any way. Queen b2.
Check.
Yeah. This doesn't work at all.
Black resigns.
Yeah, I think he probably, I don't know about this pawn sack. That might be possible. I'm not totally ruling it out, but I have my doubts that he has enough for the pawn. Yeah, the thing is a little bit, if he does not play a4, this whole opening wasn't a success. So what is he supposed to play? Let's say a normal looking move, bishop d7. I go b4, and like this, and then knight d3. This is not a particularly good position. White has far more space, and what are all those pieces doing here? It's not particularly attractive. Yeah, a4 is an interesting move. He gives up this pawn, and yeah, gets the bishops, but it's difficult for the bishops to do much. This is the problem here. Sometimes you can sacrifice a pawn like that in the King's Indian, where the dark squared bishop is getting into action via h6, for example, but this is not going to happen here. Played here, and yeah, now I think after b6 the position becomes very favorable. The engine wants to take here, which does make some sense, trying to open up the position. If I do this, c4 is an interesting move. Yeah, but I have b3 here, right? Yeah, okay, I'm winning this pawn. Okay, so here I took it. Oh, I blundered rook takes d3. Oh, that's awful. Oh my god. So I should have played here, right? To do basically the same thing, take later. Ah, that's bad. I really overlooked that. Yeah, and this is nice now for black. He will win this pawn, and he has his minor pieces now are very strong. After bishop e6 later, he will have total control over all those squares, and then he only has to maneuver the knight to d4, and I'm done. Oh, that was a bad mistake. Yeah, now everything is cool again. This position is extremely comfortable. Snatch the second pawn, and here it's basically a matter of a good technique. White also has time here, lots of time.
Check.
Yeah, okay, give me the rook, but it really didn't matter anymore. This was a fairly clean and clear win. But a bad mistake there, rook takes d3, that would have been very awful. Okay, thanks for watching.